Are here. 866-969-1969 is our phone number. Obviously we were talking about it yesterday, but my God, we were looking at some of the visuals yesterday of what we thought. I guess, I don't know if I thought that or not. I presumed, I should say, would hopefully be the worst of the California, Los Angeles fires, because they said yesterday that the reason that it got so bad and picked up so quickly was because of how bad the windstorms were in California, and that all the wind would be dying down by, I guess, yesterday morning, around like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. But, not only are these fires spreading, new fires popping up, the Hollywood Hills got hit yesterday, everything. And as disturbing as the visuals are, when you look at the amount of damage being done and the amount of property being hit, so 340,000 people without power, 28,000 acres, 5 dead as of now, and how many thousands of people have been evacuated? It's like
hundreds.
Yeah. Well, more than hundreds. I would say hundreds of thousands.
Well, yeah, no, you said how many thousands?
Oh, okay.
So is it hundreds?
At least 100 people have been evacuated. Yeah.
It just keeps growing.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where wherever you are in the city, it's just get out of there with whatever is truly, truly important and go. It's apocalyptic. And I can't help but think about, this is not once we get control of the fire, everything will be okay. Somehow, and it's getting more and more difficult as this thing keeps growing, they have to figure out how to control the fire and put it out completely. But then, once the fires are out, all that damage is done. All that property is gone. All those houses are gone. All those businesses, there's schools, everything is gone. Everything has to be rebuilt. It's crazy. There are people who have been living in their houses for decades, all these celebrities. I saw and I can't, just the mental gymnastics you would have to do to process it. I saw Adrian Brody on Sunday had this amazing night. He wins this Golden Globe. He said in his Golden Globe winning speech, I really didn't know if I was going to get up here again. He didn't know because he was when he did The Pianist, everybody loved him. Then his career kind of fell off a little bit. Now he's back because he's doing The Brutalist. And then 3 days later, his house is gone. Him and so many other people, their houses are just evaporated. I was people have stories about, luckily most people, the vast majority of people are getting out. They are safe. Their families are safe. But people that have been collecting stuff, I think about that as somebody who has just shit that I've been accumulating for years and years and years. Just in an instant, it's gone. It makes me want to sell everything. People go, oh, well, if you have insurance, yeah. Wow. We're looking
leveled.
We're looking at this photo of, blocks and blocks, entire neighborhoods just completely flattened, gone. Wow. Let's go to Chris in Boston. What's up, Chris?
I had a theory on how the fire started.
Really?
I think the Stonecutters started them to get Steve Guttenberg back on television.
Wow. They did. The prophecy was that they would once again make Steve Guttenberg a star. Wow, that's actually something worth looking into. Thank you, Chris. That's a good secret societies like the Stonecutters need to be analyzed in situations like this. Yeah, I saw, it's one thing to say that the conspiracy theories are popping up. I saw Henry Winkler, literally the nicest person in the world. Forget about Los Angeles. In the world, we've never had anybody in this studio nicer, more polite, with more of a positive disposition, and people say nice. There's a lot of fake nice, especially in Hollywood. I mean, somebody who has clearly done the work. I remember earlier this week we were talking about nobody wakes up in the morning thinking this. Every morning I wake up thinking that. Every morning I wake up thinking this. Clearly this is a person who has found after a difficult childhood to just be in a place of gratitude all the time. And we've had him in multiple times and it's unflappable. This is just who the guy is. And Henry Winkler tweets out, there is an arsonist here in LA. May you be beaten, you unrecognizable. I think he meant till you're unrecognizable, but he's very upset. The pain you have caused. Which it's like, to see Henry Winkler, because as of now, without making it a negative, like arsonist would be a conspiracy theory, obviously. Nobody is saying.
I was going to say, I haven't read.
Nobody is saying this is what's going on.
There's multiple fires.
But that's why there are people who think that there's more to it, that because there are multiple fires, there's a person or people. But I was surprised to see Henry Winkler be the one to put that forward. Steve Gutenberg is still busy moving everybody's cars and stuff like that.
He doesn't have time to even think about conspiracy theories right now.
No, he's concerned with fixing what's going on right now. But it really is, I mean, it's insane. And, you know, that you go to these politicians and it's like, I mean, once this thing has started, what are you going to do? Like, you go to the politicians to go, how are we going to get out of this? But all they can do is go, yeah, I mean, we can't control it. It's done. They really are saying that everything is, that the fire hydrants are dry, they've run out of water to fix things. And, I mean...
Save fish.
Well, Trump said he thinks it was to save a little fish. A little fish. Which it's like, can you imagine being the governor of California? And you're like, fuck, like, this is bad. Like, what am I going to do here? Let me get my mind off things and turn on the TV. And Trump is on there. And he's, not only is he blaming you, but he's saying that because you wanted to save a little fish. This is, I mean, the fact that we're back. Baby. Are you just thinking about it, Mike? Like, because I hear the laughs are like, it dies down, then it picks back up again. Because the scenario, it's like,
it's almost out of what the movie would be if we were doing this.
Like, I didn't have enough to deal with. Now I got to deal with the president-elect saying that it's happening because I was trying to save a little fish.
I love it. You got to give him a cute little nickname too.
Newscum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen. I mean. And again, this is not the same press conference that we played yesterday. We have forgotten. We're back. He's not even the president yet. And he's already decided he's going to address the press every day. And there are going to be people to insult. And that's the way it's going to be. Here is Trump explaining why Newsom was ill-prepared and, is at fault.
During the pandemic, you often said that you didn't believe that you should bail out blue states that you believe were being mismanaged. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal
But when he
side.
realized that, he said that he was like, what was the fish? And somebody said smelt. And he went, smelt? He knew that if you say, like, of all things to be trying to save, of all things to name the fish, smelt? How big is the fish, by the way? Oh, very small. Like, it was one very small fish named smelt that we put the entire city at risk for.
This smelt is not a significant fish.
No, it couldn't be.
We could do without them.
Well, would you ever think to yourself, if there's one species to save?
I wouldn't even think about it.
The smelt. And this is the way the picture has been painted. While he's sitting there trying to figure out how to get this city not on fire anymore, the president-elect is going like, this wouldn't have happened if you weren't trying to save the smelt so bad.
And then calls him Governor Newscum.
He did say Newscum. which he doesn't need right now. You know, he doesn't need that.
No.
But it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. The insurance companies, the people trying, because that's the other thing. All these people have stories about within the last 365 days, insurance companies coming forward and being like, yeah, we're not going to cover fire anymore. Which, to not cover fire in Los Angeles, it's like not covering earthquakes. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, insurers dropped fire coverage for California homes months ago. Now wildfires claim. So it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, you're going to have to rebuild such huge parts of the city and also help everybody out. Like, it's really nuts, man. It's a really nuts thing. And people in LA that are posting stuff are going, this is the most chaotic it's ever been for anything.
It's even more nuts for the insurance part of it, because the insurance companies are literally saying, we're going to end this coverage because it keeps happening.
Yeah, and that's why that's like when they go like, well, if you're prone to get sick, we can't give you medical insurance. But that's why I need medical insurance. Yeah. Please.
Like, I need fire insurance because there's so many fires here.
But if we give it to the people that don't get fires, we just get the free money.
Yeah.
And that's
how are we supposed to profit?
Yeah, you don't understand. Our business, see, you're thinking this is a service-based business, that we are providing a service. Where we make money is not providing a service. So what we want to try to get is people spending a lot of money so that we may not provide them a service. That's kind of the goal here. That's our business model.
Yeah, State Farm last year said they would no longer accept new homeowners insurance applications in California.
I was informed that much like a good neighbor, State Farm would be there.
Not the case.
That's what I was informed. I guess I should have read the fine print.
What does Jake think of all this? Isn't that his name? Is he a State Farm guy?
Might be Jake. He wears the khakis?
Yeah.
Hangs out with, because he hung out with Drake.
Hangs out with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some explaining to do.
Then last year, the company said it would end coverage for 72,000 homes and apartments in the state.
Why?
Both announcements cited risks from catastrophes as one of the reasons for the decision.
No, the risks from catastrophes are the reason to get the insurance. That's why you get insurance.
Other home insurers have dropped coverage in the state, even in areas where wildfire risk is low.
They were quoted as saying, we saw State Farm and said, wait, we can do this?
Oh, I didn't know.
We can do that? Joe in Ohio.
Hey, Henry Winkler's an asshole.
Why?
Power company in Eaton, where the big fire that's burning started, took responsibility, said it started at one of their service stations.
Really?
Yes, I don't remember the name of the power company, but it's the local one in Eaton, California.
Wow.
Where the Eaton fire is, the biggest one.
Yeah. Wow.
It, and supposedly the winds started all the rest of them, but
yeah,
that's what it is. He's the Fonz,
He is the Fonz. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Mike in Florida.
Hey, what's going on there, liberal brand muffin?
What's up, bud?
I see you've got the Tef Dogs singing the same liberal tunes as you nowadays. But in any event,
what are you talking
the
about?
insurance companies.
Mike, we just played your guy, dude.
Mike, what are you talking about?
We just played your guy and did the news.
I'm talking about the fact that, you guys are sitting here crying about the insurance companies. And don't get me wrong, they can be absolute scumbags. But the overly insane liberal California legislative told them, you're not allowed to raise rates. So then they said, okay, well, if we can't do that, then we're going to go bankrupt. So we're just going to leave instead. What do you want them to do? It's a for-profit business.
Okay, sorry, Mike.
Right,
you could take a day off.
Mike.
No, I know Trav doesn't like when I call because he doesn't like hearing me hearing my points, but I can't listen to that. I get it it would be great if
Mike,
insurance
be honest,
companies just had never-ending money.
Mike, do you think Travis's political leanings are transparent to the listeners?
I'm positive that they are.
Sorry,
He's
I
always,
feel bad for people who lost their fire
lurking.
insurance.
I feel horrible for them. I deal with
really
the same-
great, guys.
But you have to blame the
legislature.
I actually never said that. I live in Florida, and we get fucked by the insurance companies all the time. But
because of your libcuck leaders?
They don't have them.
No, actually, because there's a lot of hurricanes and they ruin people's cars and houses, and then the insurance rates go up. But what is the solution then?
I mean, bro.
Move inland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get off the coast.
I'm not on. I get it, man. Like, insurance companies are complete scumbags, but that doesn't mean that the legislators like, no, you're not allowed to raise rates on people, and
Mike,
you have to
as
operate
a person,
at a loss. Like,
bro,
that's what's going to happen.
As a person who's not an insurance company representative, for you to be like, yeah, but what do you want them to do? It's like you're on the other side. You're not benefiting from being like, I sympathize with the insurance companies. They really have it tough. You're the one who's going to get.
I'm not sympathizing with them whatsoever. I think they are.
You literally just called to say, stop blaming the insurance companies.
Yeah, and I really think it's a liberal point of view to be like, man, it really sucks that these people lost their fire insurance.
No. It's a liberal point of view to say, oh, these horrible insurance companies are just going to pull out of the state.
When did I say that? When did I say that? Hang on, Mike. When did I say they were going to pull out of the state?
You were okay. I apologize if I paraphrased incorrectly, but you were bemoaning that the insurance companies were not covering people, and of course they're not covering people if they can't. Like, it's risk assessment. Like, that's what they do. They're actuaries. They say if we can't charge X, then we're going to lose Y. So we're just not going to do business here. I'm not saying it's right. It's shitty. I wish there was a better way.
Hang on, Mike, hang on. So you think it's shitty, and I think it's shitty, but I'm liberal for saying it, and you're just seeing it the way it is.
Yeah, he's just.
Well, we
agree, Mike. We agree, and you're like, oh, well, you agree because you're a liberal. I agree because I see it the right way. Mike, we're seeing the same. We're saying the same thing.
Hey, Travis, let me ask you a question, bud. Did the governor and the California state legislator bear any responsibility because they are crippling the way insurance companies can do business?
First of all, I don't know. Mike, I don't read into like California legislature.
Mike, we're not doing that. We're not doing insurance.
And also, we're not getting into the weeds. I think it's shitty that these people lost their fire insurance 4 months before they lost their home to fire. End of story.
100% shitty.
Then I guess I'm a liberal, and I guess you are too.
Whoa, Mike, you're liberal.
Well, when the smoke clears, no pun intended, and you find out and you do a little reading that they're not able to operate the way they need to, which once again, it sucks, but that's just the reality. I hope you see it a little bit differently.
It doesn't matter what legislature or whatever caused this to happen. I agree with you. That sucks. Whoever is in charge that is putting these things in place, that sucks, whether they're on the left or whether they're on the right. That sucks, and if they're liberals, whatever, if they're conservatives, that's fine too. I think it sucks that these people lost their fire insurance, regardless of the reason. That's it.
And I want to tell you something right now, Mike. Because of your call, all we're trying to do is talk about what's going on.
Mike, we're trying to have a good time.
Eventually, I'm trying to get to the fact that David Muir wore a clothespin on the back of his fire jacket so that he looked sexy while he was reporting on the fires.
Honestly,
and you're stopping us.
I'm gonna hit you with some truth bombs. I apologize for that because that is absolutely where you need to bring this conversation.
We'll get there.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, I appreciate that we found some common ground.
And real quick, I'd like Mike to continue calling. Don't listen to Travis.
I think Mike loves us.
Of course he loves us.
And sometimes Travis's liberal
agenda.
Sometimes the liberal agenda drips through his point of view, and we're trying to shake that because we're not a political show. But
good Lord,
it's impossible.
Mike gets fired up.
He does. He loves.
No, Mike's a guy who has to turn everything into a left and right thing.
That's right. He loves a political conversation.
Yeah, and I don't give a fuck what California legislature caused these insurance companies to drop this. I don't care. I don't care.
It would be like Mike doesn't understand. He thinks because people who love politics think that because they get taught in school and it's the president and it's the laws, like this is the most all important thing. So everything should come back to politics, but there's really no difference between taking a conversation like we're having and deciding to make it overly political. And now let's talk about legislature. There's no difference between him doing that and me somehow spinning this and being like, yeah, they were talking about that on Monday Night Raw last night. By the way, on Monday Night Raw, it's the same.
Okay. Yes, Mike.
We like to
Guess
talk
what?
about what we like to
both
talk
agree
about.
that it's shitty what insurance companies do.
Yeah, but you were a little more politically.
Yeah, you were aggressively liberal.
I found Mike
If
to
Troy
be...
thinks I was aggressively liberal, then you know what? I got to say I was, because Troy and I usually see eye to eye
do, yeah.
on a lot of things.
And you're a Staten Island guy. What are you doing?
What
bro?
are you doing? Mike was fairly centered.
I should have
I
worn
thought.
my State Farm
Mike-
shirt today.
Mike was fairly centered. That Tony in Boston.
Hey, Sammy and Tough Dog. Hey, I just want to offer up a new name for the show.
What's that?
I think we can call it Mangione and Mangione.
That's right. That's right. It's our new anti-insurance company law firm.
Man, I don't know. If I was running State Farm, I'd be hiding.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be wearing red. That's for sure. Jimmy on Staten Island.
Good morning, Sam. On a serious note, if I could just say this without interjection, insurance is the biggest Ponzi scheme. It makes Bernie Madoff look like romper room.
Whoa.
You pay for a promise for all these years that you can wipe your ass with, and when you put a fucking claim in, either they raise your rates or they drop you. We need serious. We do need reform, but you want to know what? This is not the venue for it. So let's get back to talking about hookers and wrestling and fucking shit. And let's have a nice fucking day. And Sammy, I love you.
I love you too, Jimmy. Look at him maintaining perspective on things.
See, we need more guys like Jimmy.
Well, yeah. Well, if you would stop interjecting your politics, we could probably finally get something done on the show. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. You know, it's not even my show. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm trying to do, and I'm getting railroaded by your agenda, and I'm really quite sick of it. Yeah. So Anderson Cooper was out there like all day.
Crushing it.
Just in the middle of everything. Anderson Cooper, I think he's just in it for the love of the game at this point. Like, he really likes being out there. Because remember, he was out there when the hurricanes were hitting Florida, and we were monitoring that guy on a boat. Anderson went out there to Florida, was sitting on the dock, literally getting pounded in the face by debris. It was crazy. And I'm going like, I mean, I thought this guy had come a long way since being the host of The Mole, but apparently he's still out there. If anybody could insist on being in the studio and going like, no, I am not leaving the studio, I'm not going back out there, it's Anderson Cooper. He doesn't need any of this. He just did New Year's Eve with Bravo Andy. He doesn't need to be out there in the thick of it, but I think he chooses. I think he chooses to be out there because he likes it. He likes the action. And real quick, before we get to Anderson Cooper, Vincent in Connecticut. What's up, Vincent?
Yes, I would like to know if Travis can look up the terms and service agreements for the insurance companies.
He's in a delicate place right now, Vince.
Vincent, we don't do that anymore.
We need to. He's in a very delicate place. You know, I don't know.
Did I touch on something?
Yes, you did. You're triggering him, and I think he may be doing it intentionally, and it's not helpful.
No, you don't say. Hey, by the way, I wish you had spoken about Nosferatu longer. I'm not a horror guy, but that was amazing.
Nosferatu. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Thank you, Vincent.
Punching out.
All right, buddy. So Anderson Cooper was just out there, and you really, I mean, it is helpful because you understand the insanity of what's going on when you look behind him, and there's just, I mean, lakes of flames just behind him. Everything is orange. It's unbelievable. He's got to wear goggles just to report because it's all smoke and ash and everything.
Those goggles probably do nothing.
They do nothing. Let's listen to.
I mean, it's insane.
It's insane. Let's listen to some of Anderson.
A slight explosion as some of the gas went up. A fire truck passed by here. There's another larger blaze up there, which they are going to try to deal with right now. We're at Harriet in Altadena, Harriet Street. The fire has spread now to this house, which is really now engulfed in flames. But I mean, it's just surreal. I mean, look at this. Even a small thing like this tree is burning from the inside.
Jesus.
That's nuts. We're looking. Anderson is showing there's a tree that's not on fire. Like, it's not like the whole tree's on fire, but the base of it, the stump, there's like it's made a hole on the inside of the tree. Clearly, that tree is going to come down at any moment because right at the base of it, the inside is just burning through. I mean, you're looking at this like it's one thing to evacuate, but then you turn on TV and you see what's going on, and you're like, it's over. Like, your whole existence is gone. What did Billy Crystal say? He had lived in his house since like 1979.
1979.
And
gone.
It's just it's evaporated. It's gone. Everything that was in it was gone. I saw like there were firefighters that were trying to save photo albums from houses. Like they were going into houses to just take out the photo albums to be like, I mean, this is, I guess, why you got to put everything in the cloud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
But look at it's like irrecoverable and it's everywhere. Unbelievable. So Anderson Cooper is out there, and I believe too that Anderson talked to Governor Newsom while he was out there in the flames, and he did. I mean, in the middle of the fire and everything, he asked Newsom that Trump had already said that thing about the smelt, and he was like, you know, I'm a news guy at the end of the day. You're going to have to address the smelt. And this is what happened. This is how Newsom addressed Trump, kind of blaming him for using the water on the smelt instead of the fire hydrants.
Even asked this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
I want to know what he was going to say. I want to know what words he had. I also...
You know what I didn't hear him say?
What? Sorry?
We didn't do it for the fish.
We didn't. It wasn't. He didn't deny it.
I didn't hear a denial.
He didn't deny it. It would have been great if he had been like, but by the way, with all this disaster going on, the smelt population has never been higher.
They're fine.
The smelt are great. No, he didn't deny it. He did use the word asunder, which really, I don't know, there was something about the word asunder, which makes me go, I'm being misled. Like,
shut up. Using a lot of 50-cent words.
Yeah. Families. Asunder. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
How about you answer for the fish?
What about the smelt?
People are not happy with him.
No. But the mayor's being very helpful. So the mayor's out there, and it's like, because if you can't stop it, which, you know, I mean, people are only human beings at the end of the day. You can't just go, well, if you had done this, if you hadn't done that, it's Los Angeles. This has been a risk that this city community has had for years and years and years and years at this point. It's how the geography is built. So it's difficult to say, well, this person could stop it or this person can't stop it. But at the end of the day, it's how do you help? When it happens, how do you help the people and how do you get the people to the relief that they need? And I thought the mayor did a pretty good job getting that message across here.
Build stronger than ever. Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. Los Angeles, together is how we will get through this.
You know, you just hit up URL. I'm gonna assume. Here's what I think happened. A printout was given to the mayor. Somebody typed in what the URL was. A URL is a website address. If you want to send people to help at URL, an actual URL would have to follow the initials UR and L. I think somebody typed the website. I think that it was on like a Word document or whatever. I think that it showed up as a link, which turned the font blue. I think the printer that they used had run out of color ink. I think that the link did not print, therefore it was just white paper. So instead of her realizing there's something missing here, she just thought URL was some organization in California that she was unaware of, and she would just send people to URL. This is my working theory.
Even though to her, that makes no sense.
No, I'm going to read the paper.
Like she's reading
Ron Burgundy? No.
Like no one reads that.
No. Give me the paper, and I will read it. Which is interesting. Because even as just like the host of a radio show, if one of the guys gives me a paper, I'm going to give it a once over and go, before I go and blurt this out on Sirius XM airwaves, let me know I at least know what I'm saying, even if I don't know what I'm talking about. But sometimes when you're the mayor in the middle of the biggest disaster your city's ever had, and it's among the top 5 most important in terms of business cities in the country, you would think that she might give it a once over and go, there's nothing after URL. I don't understand. But
she was probably jet lagged.
I also think, they go like, oh, well, you're older. You don't know this. You don't know that. If you're running for mayor at this point, 2025, if you're the mayor, you should be expected to know what a URL is.
She's 71.
Okay, well, either retire. If you're retired at 71.
That's too old to be a mayor.
Well, that's my point. If you're retired at 71 and you don't know what a URL is, we got no beef. But if you're still in it to win it, and you're the mayor of Los Angeles, and you don't know can you imagine being the mayor of Los Angeles being like, I have no idea what a URL is. I don't know what that is. Like, she's sitting there watching that Today Show clip from 1994 when Katie Couric and Bryant Gumbel are trying to figure out what the @ sign means.
What is internet?
And she's like, this it might as well be a clip from the Today Show this morning. I don't know what that means either. So that's what we want. We want to send the residents of Los Angeles that are listening to go to URL, and hopefully they'll all be okay. So we saw Anderson Cooper. He was out there on the street in it, right? Fire blazing around him, goggles on, even though they do nothing. He had a big, mask to keep himself from smoke inhalation around his neck, but he put it down so he could broadcast. I mean, it looked like...
I saw photos of his hands. They were just black.
They were blackened with soot. It looked like he had just grabbed that jacket, like he had gone to a fire station or wherever. They were like, here, this is the jacket we got. And he was like, okay, I'm going to go out there. The feed was like glitching because it was Anderson Cooper, it was a cameraman, and that was it, because they were in dangerous territories. And a lot of these other big news guys were like, yeah, man, I got to get out there too, like Anderson, and really do it. So David Muir, who's the face and the voice of ABC News, handsome fella, he went out there. It looks like, I'm going to say he has more than just a cameraman.
Oh, yeah.
He's got there's a light on him.
Yeah. He's got lighting. He probably had a makeup artist.
He definitely had a makeup artist. He had a hair person. You could tell because the hair looks great. It's a great hair person that was with him, I think.
And he looks like he's in a neighborhood where the fire has passed them by.
Well, it's not orange. Here's the thing. Like, it doesn't look like there's a filter over the camera the way it did with Anderson. And believe it or not, this video is going around on Twitter. You can see who started it. It was Jack Osborne. The great Jack Osborne, of all people, that first brought this to everyone's attention. But you do notice, even before the beautiful reveal, that his fire jacket that he's got on, which kind of seems unnecessary from him. Like, I got why Anderson was wearing it. He was literally in the middle of a fire with trees burning down around him. This one, I don't know if the news anchor needs a fire jacket, but he still has one. It's a branded fire jacket. The fire jacket says ABC News on it, which I don't know at what point ABC decided, just to make sure we're prepared, we need to have branded fire jackets ready to go. But I did notice, like, it looks almost tailored. Like, it's a good fit. And he's an in shape guy. He looks great.
Extremely handsome.
Really handsome guy. And then there was a reveal, if we could play the clip.
We're on 4.
Shopping, a place to eat. Today, as you can see here behind me, it's
been down to 2.
There it is. There. So he turns around, and somebody has used a clothespin to pinch the back of the jacket. So he put the jacket on, and he thought it was a little baggy. So there's a clothespin on the back of the jacket. If anything screams, I'm dressing up in a fireman costume for the sake of my news report, it is a clothespin on the back of the jacket. It's what your mom would do when you really wanted to wear that Halloween costume to school, but she was uncomfortable because it didn't fit right, and she didn't want to send you to school looking like a vagabond, like you weren't taken care of. So she put a clothespin or something, or a safety pin in the back of your outfit to make sure it fit right. It was like when my mom, when I would insist on wearing size large white zombie T-shirts to middle school, but I was small like a smelt at that point in my life. And so she would make me blouse out my T-shirts, so they didn't hang below my knees. I would tuck them in and blouse them. This is the same thinking. We're going out there in the fire. This jacket doesn't fit just right. Let me safety pin up the back of this jacket. I mean, if there's anything more symbolic of all of this, to safety pin up the jacket, it never occurred that this is not a good idea, even for optics. Even if I kind of want to do it, even my instinct is telling me to do it, it's a bad vibe. It doesn't make any sense that I would do this right now.
I mean, ABC's probably paying a few $100 a month for his Equinox membership. So they don't want it to look like he's just swimming in the fucking thing.
No, that's true. It could have been an executive saying, like, why are we paying for his Equinox membership and not showing that body?
This is a visual medium.
You're right. This is television. Yes, this is news, but more importantly, this is television. And what are people watching for? Meanwhile, Anderson Cooper is over there. Look at the side. He looks like he's wearing an Apple Vision Pro with a big giant jacket on. Man. And just a wild thing. It's a wild thing to see it happen. It's a wild thing to see people react to it. It's a wild thing to see how, news agencies react to it. It's just and especially since nobody saw it coming. There was no, I don't think, any risk of this even as recent as the weekend or like Monday I wasn't even hearing about. You got to watch out. Maybe it was, hey, it's going to be windy, and when it gets windy, this becomes a risk. But nobody was saying, this is catastrophic. This is like historically catastrophic. I saw, there was one person I know out there who's like this big, big business guy who's got all this money, and he always posts about his collections. He loves to collect. But when you get to that level in life, you start collecting more valuable things. It's still trading cards and collectibles and stuff like that. But it's, spending tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on trading cards. And he would, get them graded and everything. One of one this. This is the PSA graded. There's only one out there that's a grade 9, and I have it. And for years, I've been following what this dude is tweeting about in terms of his collection. And then he just posted something yesterday saying, hey, it's all gone. And it was like, I think everybody should still collect. It's still a wonderful thing. I spent so many years doing it, but I got my family, I got my pet out of the house, and everything else is gone. And you're just like, wow. Like that's it. I guess it does highlight what's important, but man. Andy in Vermont.
Hey, there's stories about David Muir at his gym in New York. His nickname is Zoolander because all he does is work out and stare at himself.
I think that's right. Thank you, Andy. He does. When he's at the Equinox, David Muir probably looks like Patrick Bateman making love. Just flexing for the mirror. TJ in Cleveland.
Yeah, if you're safety pinned up like that, it's pretty much the equivalent of when you...
Troy hung up on him.
Troy!
Do you not? How do you not know how to work the phone still?
Somebody was being an asshole. I hung up.
Yeah, but you hung up on everybody. You're the
people.
asshole.
I don't know why it's doing that now all of a sudden.
I think it's operator error.
Yeah. I'm possibly.
Poor guy. You can call back. Troy hung up on you.
Who was that? I forget the guy's name.
Oh, wow. That's, I don't know. That's oh, it's real. Yeah. This person says, I used to work out at the same gym as David Muir. Oh, my God. All the trainers collectively referred to him as Zoolander because he'd stand in front of the mirror posing and flexing for uncomfortably long periods of time. Wow.
You didn't finish it.
Okay. A dim bulb, but enthusiastic jazzerciser. I didn't think that was essential to the story we were telling, but
people want to know how he got in shape.
I don't want to paraphrase. You're right. It should be a direct quote. Man, that's crazy. Okay, I think this is funny. Who we were talking to. TJ, are you back?
I'm here.
I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say. When you're safety pinned up like that, it's basically like when you see that guy walking in the background when you're in the boat in the hurricane. It's absurd.
It's exactly what it is. It's exactly when somebody's in a canoe and then you go to the wide shot and you realize the water's ankle deep. Like, why? You don't need to put on a performance.
Cosplay.
You don't need to cosplay and put on a play and performance for the most catastrophic fire that's ever hit Los Angeles.
Meanwhile,
Anderson Cooper, Apple Vision Pro, big old jacket, sooted hands, the wrists aren't even the right size. There's no logo on the jacket like we were prepared for this. It's just this dude out there with his cameraman, even though, like, not only, and this is the thing about Anderson Cooper, not only is he the top dog at the network that he's on, but for God's sakes, he's a Vanderbilt. He's a rich kid. He grew up with money. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe because he grew up with money, he's like, I got to get into the real world. And if you're going to give me a chance to get smashed with debris in the middle of a hurricane or to walk right into the center of the biggest fire that's ever hit this city, I'm doing it. I want to live life.
He's a man.
Yeah,
it does have vibes of the little kid in kindergarten trying on the firefighter's uniform.
It does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It does look like that's a grown-up's jacket that he's put on. Yeah. Yes, it does, TJ. That's 100% right. But I have more respect for the child putting on the grown-up's jacket than I do for the pretty boy who's like tailoring. A tailored fire jacket in the middle of a fire is something that I could never...
And you're not even in the fire.
And you're not. Like, they're going to be able to use... The equipment that Anderson is using may not be able to be used again because of the environment that they're in, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's probably melted.
Well, yeah. David Muir they could just throw that camera back in the studio.
It's really giving like 40-year-old guy who just got divorced and he started doing CrossFit to get back in shape.
Yes, it is.
And now everything he wears is tight.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's what it is. It's 100%. So, yeah. Have you thought at all? I mean, Troy, I guess you have weird stuff. Have you thought at all about, like, when you hear stories of people just losing everything? We're talking about it a little bit yesterday. Like, I would have no idea what to grab if it was like, not only, because a lot of times you evacuate when that evacuation order comes in, and the thinking is, I'm doing this just in case, and I hope everything will be fine, or it'll be a pain in the ass when I get back, I'll just have to fix everything. More often than not, it's rare that you evacuate knowing I'm evacuating, and odds are everything is gone after this. But now, and as of yesterday, the people evacuating a lot of those neighborhoods, they know when they're pulling out of the driveway, they're coming back to nothing. That odds are they're not going to have anything left. I mean, do you take anything with you, or do you just go, there's not one thing. I'm just taking my loved ones and I'm out.
Well, you got to make sure you grab Toots.
Sure. Toots is one of the loved ones.
Toots, yep.
Would you bring it? Let me ask you. Mm-hmm. Would you pick an outfit for your cat? That way he could wear it so it doesn't look weird. Like, why would you leave with a cat outfit? Like, let's put it on him so it just looks like he was already wearing it. That way you know.
I didn't think about it, but that's actually a great idea.
Yeah. Because also you'd need something to cheer you up.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe Toots walking around in a tux would be like, oh, okay. I mean, at least we got that.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to put up something on the gram, so you might as well, if you might as well have Toots in it.
I didn't even think of the social implications.
Okay, yeah.
Well, like you don't have a lot of friends in LA, right? Posting photos.
No, I do. Some of them are like posting photos of the news covering it, and I'm like, you're in LA. I have the news too. I know, like, you don't have to post pictures of it on TV. I also have it on TV. Like, if you're not evacuating, if I don't have to send you thoughts and prayers, I don't need the updates. Update, I'm fine. Here's what's on my TV. Same thing on my TV, bro.
But it is wild when people are like, this is my backyard, and it's like on fire.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I guess Paris Hilton's house is done. Do you have that? I mean, many celebrities. Like I said earlier, Adrian Brody, Billy Crystal.
Are you sure it's Adrian Brody?
I thought it was. Who'd you think it was?
I haven't read Adrian.
I think the Post said Adrian Brody lost his house.
Damn.
I mean, I could be wrong. He could have a house, but I think that's what the Post said.
I mean, the list is long.
It's long. It's long, and it's updating all the time, and nobody's going to know for sure what the whole list is. I think most of the list that's come out is people that are publicly saying it. But I also saw on some of the reports, like, they're showing what's left of the house.
Yeah.
And it's literally a plot of charred land. It's nothing. John Goodman lost his place?
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's John Goodman's house.
That's, You just see literally, you see a walkway, and you see the empty pool.
Yeah.
But it's empty, you know?
Yeah. John Goodman.
You know why John Goodman's pool is empty?
Why?
They use the water for the smelt. They made him. Anthony Hopkins, and it's nothing. You're looking at these photos, and there's nothing left. And you're like, what do you do? And you got to imagine people like Anthony Hopkins, people like John Goodman, you know, Miles Teller, but like the people who are older, who have been famous for a while, who have been actors for a while, like, oh my God, not Eugene Levy. Oh,
poor guy.
It's gone. And he's another one. Billy Crystal. These guys have been there forever. You know, this is not like, oh, I just made it and I bought this house and it's great. These are most likely people that have had these houses for years and years and years, and have just, this is where they've lived their lives. It's
Paris Hilton, Anna Faris, Mandy Moore.
Not Mandy Moore.
Yeah. Adam Brody. Is that who you're thinking of?
No.
Okay.
I think it was Adrian.
Ricky Lake.
They had a picture of him. I am tired of you questioning it.
Ricky Lake.
Oh. That's another one. She's probably been there forever. I mean, she's been goated for a very long time.
Here's the Google News results on Adrian Brody house.
Okay, look, now you're getting petty.
I'm not getting petty.
I saw a thing in the Post that said Adrian Brody.
The New York Post?
It was a post.
All right.
It was actually a flyer on a post near my house.
I'm going to go New York Post.
It was a telephone post.
ADRIENBRODY.
Rich in Connecticut.
Kerry Eulers.
Oh, no. Not the Dread Pirate Roberts. What's up, Rich?
Hey, just turned on the show today. I realized it says the Sam show here. Is Jim done?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just thinking, now that you guys have become a serious political news show,
that's right.
Would you guys think about sending Travis or Mike Montone and maybe like Hot Dog out to California to cover these fires?
I would definitely. I think it would be a great thing to send Hot Dog out to the California fires to cover it, and then just kind of not get to it. You know what I mean? Like, we got busy. Like, we didn't get to it. But you stay out there for the weekend, and I'm sure we'll cover it on Monday.
You stay on scene.
Yeah, you stay on scene, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm loving the show still, but just, now that you guys are a serious, political and news show, I just thought maybe having a man on the street might be a good idea.
No, you're right. Thank you, Rich. I think that's a great idea, and I think we need to talk to Jim McClure about getting branded fire jackets, so we could send people out there fitted and branded fire jackets, please. Ken in South Carolina.
I shouldn't have returned my Halloween costume.
No.
Hey, Sam.
What's up, Ken?
Hey, so I'd heard about this before with Anderson Cooper, and not that the guy was broke, but a lot of that Vanderbilt money was long gone from his mom, and their estate in Long Island up in Centerport was already donated as a museum. There's a planetarium there. So, not that the guy was broke, but yeah, it's up in Centerport. Yeah, ask Opie about it, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Thank you, Ken. Well, are you talking about he doesn't have money or he doesn't have Vanderbilt money?
He doesn't have Vanderbilt money, and he didn't want Vanderbilt money.
That's cool.
And that's why, he was a journalist, or he wanted to make his own money. Like, he started out on Channel 1, where I was watching him in middle school. Like, he did
The Mole.
Then he did The Mole, and then I think he stopped.
Stopped doing The Mole?
No, just stopped. And then just went into the fires.
Yeah, that's the last I heard he was in The Mole.
But no, like, he didn't want to survive off his mom and her money. He just wanted to, do it on his own. And his inheritance was not that much, if anything.
I wonder. Comparatively speaking, or generally not that much?
Generally not that
Either way, clearly he's decided, to enter the workforce and walk into the fire.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. Tommy in Brooklyn?
Yeah, the houses, it's horrific that the house is burned, but I bet the artwork in the houses are worth more than the houses themselves. Could you imagine how much artwork?
Oh, my God.
Antiques, how many cars, all of that stuff that they're not talking about that, but I'm sure There's millions of dollars in that stuff.
No, you're right, Tommy. That's a good point. I mean, a lot of celebrities, like, they look at art as investments. They start building these big collections. I mean, they get insurance on it, but...
Well, now that it's mentioned, do we know that this actually wasn't an arson planned by the Hollywood elite to cover up their history of, questionable behavior, sex trafficking, etc.?
You think they would burn down the entire city?
All the evidence is gone.
As well as everything else.
The evidence is gone.
I think between the smelt and the evidence. Bernie in Georgia. What's up, Bernie or Benny?
What's up, I guess, boys?
Yeah, boys, we're all here.
So, yeah. I think this is a giant evidence dump for the Epstein list that's going to be coming out and the Diddy list, because all them Hollywood stars are on there, but there's supporting evidence that's just burnt up. So,
I do love the idea. Thank you, Benny. I do love the idea that this hugely sensitive information and all this evidence was just simply written on paper, and it was locally available only in one area. That there was no digital trace of it anywhere. That in this day and age, no, we do everything by pen and paper. So yeah, Simple Fire will take care of everything. Yeah, sure.
Well, if it's going back to the 90s and 2000s, there's physical copies of stuff.
Right, and there's no way they would have been.
That's not saying everything was transferred properly.
A box full of middle school yearbooks or something like that in your garage.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I'd say we've got a good 20 years that things have been mainly digital. Let's see. Oh, Scott in Tennessee. What's up, Scott?
Sammy shit farts.
Hey, man.
What's up, buddy? Hey, you guys are talking about fires. And I was just wondering if your little trash panda Biggins is still all fired up.
Thank you, Scott. I did. I don't know. I think she's okay now. We did record the podcast yesterday, and I think we got to an okay place. Yeah. It'll come out after the show.
She sounded mad.
Oh, she was mad. She was mad. I thought she was like jokey mad. She was mad. Yeah. Thank you. I got a taste of what her husband has to deal with all of the time. Dr. X in Mexico City.
Man, I tell you what, baby oil is not an accelerant, but what the fuck?
That's right.
The first things these guys grabbed out of their home offices, the arrogance, fuck family pictures, fuck everything. They grabbed their Grammys, they grabbed their Oscars, they grabbed all that shit, put it in a little box and hauled ass. There's no way they leave that stuff behind. It's irreplaceable.
Don't you think the Academy could literally just replace it? Like, I mean...
Nah, man.
Couldn't you just get another statue? One and done. That's it. One and done. Thank you, Dr. X. Yeah, I mean, I feel. I mean, there is a good chance that people left with their award statues, but I mean, unless you have some kind of connection to the fact that it happened on that night, I don't think a replacement statue would be that difficult to get.
No, and you still won the award.
Well, yeah. I mean, you want it. You need to look at the statue. Some people do. Some people, I mean, the David Muirs of the world probably enjoy looking at their statues all the time.
His body's a statue.
I know. I could see it in that fire coat, which is amazing, because usually with those fire coats, they're not so flattering, but put a clothespin on the back and boom, Bob's your uncle. Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like I wouldn't go back for anything. You know what I mean?
Nothing?
I don't think so.
Let's say your dog and your family are okay.
Right.
You've got time.
You've got time. You're not going back to grab anything?
Well, because there's not one. It's almost like, am I grabbing everything or?
You can't. You got to grab a couple things you can fit in your car.
That's what I mean. So it's and I'd also like. There's just something like in that moment.
Travis Scott's?
That's what I mean. To look at your family and be like, I got my family out.
They're good.
And my Travis Scott's out. It's almost like, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean?
But there's nothing material that is sentimental to you.
Sentimental.
That you would grab.
Because all the pictures are like I said, in the cloud. I'd have my wallet in my pocket. Hopefully I'm wearing my favorite pants. So I got those.
Your credit cards.
So I got my credit cards, so I'm good with that.
Nothing?
Is there anything truly a physical.
No, like kid's toy that you can't replace. That
no, I probably like. That's probably. I'd make sure my daughter had her like little stuffed animal thing that she's had since she was born that she still sleeps with.
That you're going to keep forever.
Yes, I'd make sure we had that. I don't know if there's anything we still have. Oh, I grab our newborn. I grab the baby.
No, we already talked about the baby.
Okay.
Safe,
All right.
bro.
I thought you meant the bigger kids. Oh, I grabbed the baby.
Yeah, everybody's safe.
Okay, I forgot about because I was like, oh shit, I grabbed the Travis Scotts. I got to grab the baby.
Like, I don't think it's weird to be like, oh, okay, my whole family is safe. Let me grab these things that I think are cool.
I'd hopefully be wearing my watch because I don't want to grab the watch.
All right, but if you're not,
you know what I do? I grab the box and the papers for the watch just in case.
Call.
Keep the
That's a good
value.
call. Okay,
keep the
that's a
value.
good
That's
call.
what that would be the move. I'd look for luxury items.
That's a good call.
Like any.
Put your watch in your fake Louis Vuitton bag.
That would be the move. You're right. It's like when you're doing supermarket sweep.
Yes.
Remember that show, Supermarket Sweep?
You get 5 turkeys.
Right. What do you want to do? Do you want to go through and just get as much hamburger helper as you can? Or do you want to go and grab the most expensive items and just get a few of them? I think what I do, yes, that's a great move, Travis. First of all, I get my charging brick that you all make fun of me for, because I love that thing. Get the charging brick.
Yeah,
right.
You just order one of those on Amazon.
That's replaceable.
Yeah, but who knows? Especially if I'm there, how long it's going to take, even with Prime.
It's going to take the next day.
Because of Prime? Yeah, no, they are quick. That's a good point.
Sometimes you get it the same day.
Yeah.
I would probably check Prime real quick to see if I can get it the same day. If I get it the same day, I don't need
Smart.
it. That's a great call. I get the Louis bag, and I'd fill it up with anything.
Luxury items.
Tchotchkes.
Luxury tchotchkes. Luxury tchotchkes. It would have
iPad.
You can get an iPad.
I mean,
but you got the Pro. You got the big Pro.
I grab my iPad and then I grab the kids' iPad. So because otherwise it's like yap, and it's like just watch the iPad.
Just put Bluey on.
Right, exactly. So I grab the kids' iPads.
Smart.
You don't have anything from a kid that you like? This is irreplaceable.
We discussed that while you were on the phone.
Right.
He would grab like his daughter's like stuffed animal.
Daughter's stuffed animal.
But Mick Foley, obviously we discussed yesterday.
No, he's not even bringing up the shirt.
Yeah, unless I'm
really,
wearing...
it's not that important to you.
I mean, once the fire's there, it's almost like okay, we're starting over.
But
like,
he wore that.
But you've got the time. We're giving you the time.
So I'm packed in the car.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I mean, we got another 15 minutes. We got time. And I'm just going in back and forth.
Jose Canseco's running in and out.
That's all I'm thinking about is Jose Canseco running back and forth.
The washing machine.
Yeah.
You have that
the washing machine.
Undertaker velvet picture. You love that thing.
Yeah. I do love the velvet painting. And it's an original. It's not a print. You think I
grab that?
Oh.
That'll fit in your car, no problem.
I have a signed Triple H photo that says "You're the man" on it.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to lose that. But you could, you're still there. You could get another one.
You can't print it out and go like, "Hey, Hunter."
Yeah. I lost it in the fire.
Especially if you explain the situation.
The original inscription said "You're the man." If you want to,
this is what it said.
It said "You're the man."
I lost it in the fire. Could you do me a solid?
I mean, you still think that, right?
Is it the photo of him feeding you? Oh no, that was Mick.
That was Mick Foley. Yeah. But also I'd look so stupid because imagine if the neighbors saw. They're like, "Oh, we're in a panic trying to get our heirlooms," and I'm running out with like 2 steel chairs signed by wrestlers.
But those are your heirlooms.
Yes.
I mean, they are heirlooms, and you're not going to get them again.
Never.
No.
There's dead people on those chairs.
Like I would grab my art, like because I can't get that again.
The ones that you did originally, like the Travis Teft originals? No. I've been painting pictures of dogs and soldiers.
No, the ones that I did unmentionable things to Jermaine.
Oh, that's right. You're like, what I had to go through in that car in Los Angeles with Jermaine, I have paid the price.
The memories that are attached to these.
That's right.
I am saving it more for the memories.
Plus, you love Post-it sized art, so you could literally get like 15 pieces.
Yeah,
and just have it in your hand.
All in my
yeah. I just have them here.
And maybe my Lego Cinderella's castle, because that's really big, and that took me a long time to get to make.
That's a good point. Some of those Legos are like so many pieces. I have a couple of Lego sets I haven't built yet. It might make sense to grab those.
Oh, yeah.
Just something.
You're going to need to pass the time.
Something to do, you know? Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, like it doesn't always have to be like sentimental. Like,
but I'd look
you can grab things that are important to you that are literally irreplaceable.
But I'd look at stuff and I go, why would I take this instead of that? Like, there's so much. You've seen it, Troy. There's so much
So
stuff.
much shit. You might as well just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's wipe the slate clean.
You know what I'd do? I'd
You
grab
have to have favorite things.
I'd grab the microphone that Troy loaned me like 8 years ago.
And I've asked for it back multiple times.
Right, just to make sure I still had it. So when he asked for it back, and he's like, it didn't burn in the fire. I'd say, no, I absolutely still have it. He's like, will you bring it back to me? I go, yeah, I'll bring it tomorrow. And never bring it.
I can picture you pulling some bullshit like that.
Like, grab the mic and be like,
yeah.
like I'm in a panic, right? I'm trying to save my family. I'm looking at what I really need to hold dear. And I'm like, you know what would be funny? if I saved the mic and still didn't return it. It's not even plugged into anything. I'm not using it.
By the way, can you bring that back?
Yeah, I'll have it tomorrow.
That's from my dad.
Yeah. I'll have it tomorrow.
We're off tomorrow.
Okay, so Monday then. I won't forget. Yeah, I mean, I might just start. I guess I might just start grabbing stuff if I had the time.
Yeah.
Gold dust costume.
That would take. But here's the problem with the gold dust costume. The gold dust costume is on a mannequin, which means it would take a lot of time to take the suit off the mannequin.
Take the mannequin.
The whole mannequin.
Then that's like.
But then the arms start falling off. It's very cumbersome. And now I'm going, like, the amount of time it's taking me to get the gold dust outfit and the amount of space with the mannequin that it's going to take. Plus, the mannequin's got a very heavy base on it.
Oh.
Because that's how it stands upright. Because it's got to stand upright.
Yeah.
Like, this is taking the place due to space and time of a lot of other items.
But wouldn't it be funny to see you fleeing the area with a gold dust?
That would be fun. Okay.
Inside the seat, so it's like there's a mannequin inside the car with you. That's funny.
You're speaking my language, all right? Because now I'm picturing the idea of news covering it, and we'd open the back window of the trunk as we're driving away, and you can see the gold dust outfit hanging out the back of the car on the mannequin. But I feel like that would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, there's a news crew. They're CNN. Let me pull over and talk to them while gold dust is hanging out of the car.
No, those are just my heirlooms. Like, not even referencing. Those are just the things that are important to me. Yeah. I mean, I'd probably make the call then. What do you have?
I mean,
other than Toots and his tuxedo.
I don't really collect a lot of things. I don't have a lot of, like, I don't really care about stuff from my childhood. I mean, the most important thing would probably be the Elvis bust.
Okay, the one that you got like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay, though.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Elvis bust. It's like, and you said you had a terrible childhood.
Terrible.
So the idea that, like, you have finally found happiness in your life, and it's that period of time is represented by the Elvis bust.
It was a great time. It was during the pandemic.
Well, I don't. That's a weird way to phrase it.
Well, I was going to flea markets to stay.
Yeah, Troy had the best pandemic out of all of us.
I had the best pandemic.
Well, because you were in the land of the free.
Yeah, I was literally every weekend. I was going to Florida flea markets, and I find this Elvis bust from the '70s that's in mint condition.
Yeah,
you got to grab that.
Of course.
So you're thinking Elvis bust?
Elvis bust. My Beatles Butcher record.
Okay.
It's framed, so it's easy to grab.
Easy to grab. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, keeping it in.
Drum set.
No, I got the Questlove Ludwig drum set. I could just go on Sweetwater and buy a new one.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Maybe my pillows. My pillows.
Don't you have something signed by the Beastie Boys?
Pillows.
Oh my God, my Beastie Boys record.
You gotta get, because you can't get that.
Yeah, I've Check Your Head signed by all three.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
You absolutely would have
good call.
to say
Thank
that.
you.
You're welcome.
I have a picture of me, Ric Flair, and Roddy Piper, and it's signed by both Ric Flair and Roddy Piper.
That's not even joking.
It's irreplaceable.
That's irreplaceable. You would have to grab that.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have to grab that.
Yep.
So you grab your art.
I'd grab my art. I'm sure there's other things I can't think of off the top of my head that are sentimental.
Yeah. But you come from the same, I mean, you guys that come from your broken backgrounds.
Yeah, but I don't even have anything from my childhood at my house.
Right.
Like, that's all at my dad's place.
Right.
Like photo albums, like all that shit is at my dad's place.
Yeah. Yeah, because by the time all of us moved into our own places, like, we might have photo albums, but we printed the photos.
Yeah, I've got my own identity.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would grab, probably something from Riley's room. I don't know. Oh, she's got a Scott C in her room, so I'd grab that.
Just art that you got with Jermaine. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You grab like whatever bottles of whiskey you had that weren't finished.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, some of those are expensive.
You know he would. He'd be like, go in for the whiskey. His
That's
wife
a
would be
good
like, we
call.
drank it all.
Not going to waste this.
No.
Especially because they go up in flames.
That's right. It's very flammable.
I'd be like, no, honey. These are to make the fire go. Less
in it. No, he'd be on Instagram that night getting fucked up.
Sam, that's a great point. I forgot about that.
You need your drink.
Yeah.
John in New York City.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, man.
I want to just start off by saying that Troy may be hanging up on people, but he is picking up the phone in fucking stellar fashion. So,
My guy.
well done, Troy.
My guy.
Yeah, for sure. Off the first thing, what's worse? Wild Californian forest fires or wild New York subway passenger fires?
Wild. Well, that's what the MTA has said. Those are wildfires.
Yeah.
Well,
they just spring up. There's no rhyme or reason to them, and there's no way to forecast them.
That's right.
They just are set ablaze for no reason.
Well, there's no crime in the subway, but every now and then there will be a wildfire or a strong gust of wind will knock someone on the tracks. Those are natural disasters.
I think Mayor Adams blamed it on an errant ember that was pushed through a gust of wind by the L train.
That's right.
I think, yeah.
And then Mayor Adams also was on record of saying, I would speak further on this, but quite frankly, I have my own issues.
Right, which is, listen, he's not a dumb man. I have another question that I didn't screen with Troy. Do you mind if I ask it?
Okay, this is very risky.
You want me to put it on hold and I'll screen it quick and then...
No. I appreciate the offer.
You guys can trust me.
This is a risk.
Yeah. Listen, I am Bobby Lee's New York friend from the overnight show back in the day. So
wonderful.
I'm going to treat you guys well. Excited for your journey without Jimmy. We love Jimmy. Excited for the next chapter in all of this. For those of us who've been with you guys for decades, is a boys or a good evening or a happy birthday, Jimmy, are those things disrespectful to you moving forward?
Yes, I've decided that this is my time to shine. The past will be forgotten. Any reference to me being an intern, associate producer, any of that behind the scenes stuff, because I don't want to poison the new listeners into thinking that I'm less than. You know what I mean? Right.
So you sprung forth fully formed from the rib of the radio gods.
That's right. From this day forward, the story will dictate that Sirius was made aware of an outstanding broadcast personality and decided to hire him to an irregularly large contract to save the business once and for all. That is the backstory.
And it was done. Amen. Good luck, gents.
Hey.
Looking forward to you, boys.
Thank you, John. Yes, show references from previous shows will, from time to time, be acceptable. From time to time. TJ just dropped, but he was talking about the insurance claims from the celebrities. Yeah, I would imagine that, all of that's going to happen. Let's take a break, huh? You like that?
I love it.
It's discipline. What discipline? Discipline. I'm turning over a new leaf.
New year, new you.
That's right. We're taking this seriously now. We're going to take a break. As I said, this morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, the new episode of the Satisfying Podcast will go up on the Satisfying Podcast YouTube channel. That's the show that I do with Nicole from the Morning Mashup. And, she came in and interrupted the show yesterday, very angry. Travis and Troy were absolutely frightened by her.
I thought it was a joke, and then it was like, no, this is real.
Yeah, no, it was real. But I did get her to the studio and get her on mic so that we could
get to the bottom of it?
We could get to the bottom of it and hash it all out, and you'll be able to watch that. The audio's up everywhere, but you'll be able to watch that at 11 a.m. Eastern after this morning show. We have a lot to do this morning here, though, still, okay? So stick around. We'll be right back.
Sirius XM, Channel 103. Faction Talk. Channel 103. Faction Talk.
We're talking about the movie The Brutalist, which I want to see. And I'm not one of these people that is intimidated by long movie lengths. I'm not one of these like, oh, movies are only supposed to be 90 minutes. I'm only supposed to if it's a good movie, however long the filmmaker thinks it takes to tell that story should be how long the movie is. But 3 hours and 40 minutes is the runtime on The Brutalist. They said that The Brutalist, this movie, this is the Adrian Brody movie. The director just won a Golden Globe. Everybody's talking about how amazing it is, how amazing he is in it, how great just the whole movie is. And I'm not, but it's 3 hours and 40 minutes. Theatrical release with an intermission. Did you hear that?
I didn't know there was an intermission.
That's what they said.
Is it a built-in intermission?
It's a built-in
Okay.
intermission.
Right.
It's
So
not like
meant to be like that.
Yes,
Okay.
it's not like AMC was like, okay, we'll run it, but there's an intermission. There's apparently
That's
a built-in intermission. I don't know if the intermission is a part of the 340. It's like a 15-minute intermission, I think.
Oh,
where you go out and remember that you're a part of life. Because when you're talking about 3 hours and 40 minutes,
I mean, there was an intermission in The Hateful Eight.
How long was that though? The movie.
The movie was not that long.
Yeah, because 340 is
340 is long.
I mean, it's half.
Hateful Eight was 3 hours.
Yeah, that extra 40 is long. It's half your day. It's like the idea of going in.
Once Upon a Time in America is 4 hours 11 minutes. I think that's the longest movie I've ever watched.
Once Upon a Time in America
with De Niro.
Oh yeah,
and I watched that once
because. And even if it's good, it's just such a commitment, It's almost, and that's what they did with Kill Bill, right? They're like, well, we can't do this in less than 4 hours and change. Okay, let's do 2 movies. Troy, would you ever see a 3 hour, 40-minute movie?
I'd probably have to break it up.
But you wouldn't go to a theater and see a 3 hour, 40-minute. There's an intermission.
Let me think. If I've seen a 3 hour movie,
but no. This is what'll trick you. A 3 hour movie. Because you just, you round the change. But 40 minutes is pretty close to another hour. Like the idea that you've done 3 hours of movie watching and you have another 40 minutes. 40 minutes is, almost half of like an average movie. Almost.
Like I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I was just about to say, I watched that in theater.
Like 3 times in the theater. But that's only 240.
Exactly.
We're talking about another hour.
Another hour on top of it. Oh. See, you're already thinking about it.
Okay, to answer your question, the intermission is 15 minutes long, and it is included in the 335.
Okay, 335.
So it's really just 320.
320.
320 is not that long.
No, and what are you doing for the 15, though? I don't know if I a 5-minute intermission, maybe. But
probably hit the bathroom.
Yeah, but I don't need 15 minutes to go to the bathroom.
No, I'll probably check my phone.
You have to take a dump.
Okay. If you have to take a dump, would you think you'd go and save your dump knowing, see, what's great about this movie, The Brutalist, is there's a dump break right in the middle. So I'm not going to take my morning dump. I'm just going to go to the first screening, and then I'll take my dump in between. Act 1, Act 2.
Sometimes it comes on and you're like, I didn't think I was going to have to shit today. But
right. Or you get
today?
Or at this time of the day.
Right. Or you get a coffee at the beginning of the movie.
Because you're a little tired.
You're a little tired, and okay, like I got to put 335 into this. Let me get a cold brew.
Yeah, and
then halfway through the movie, you got to take a big dump. That 15-minute intermission is really going to be handy.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, this is great.
Only 15?
Yeah, I'm sitting there, and you can take your time at that point.
Scroll a little bit. I love scrolling
on the toilet.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but wouldn't it kind of take you out of the movie if you have a break to scroll? Like you have a break. Like you're supposed to be kind of immersed in the movie, and you're taking a break to.
Do you take no breaks when you're watching a movie at home?
It depends on if I'm really watching it or not. Like if I'm really trying to watch a movie, I would try not to take breaks. If I'm watching a movie at home and I'm trying to legitimately watch the movie.
I do the same thing.
Yes. There's a whole different thing. If I'm just like, look, I just want to put a movie on, then sure, there are movies I can put on to scroll, I'll get on my computer, I'll do this, I'll do that. But
you're not really watching that movie.
No, because I've already seen it probably. It's probably the movie. Honestly, let's be honest here. It's probably the movie Rockstar, starring Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston. That's the movie that gets put on because that's probably the movie I've seen the most times because I love that movie. It's really it's a tale of be careful what you wish for, and I think that's a valuable tale. But if I'm going to see The Brutalist, it's like everybody says it's so good. Because here's what I don't want. I don't want to come out of a movie and have, like, when somebody goes, what did you think of that movie? I don't want to answer the way Troy answered when we asked him what did he think about Squid Games, because he didn't actually watch it. Like, if I'm going...
I could tell you what happened.
I don't want a summary.
Okay. All right.
I appreciate it, but that's not what I want.
You don't need cliff notes.
No, I saw it too. Thoughts, analysis. See, I want to be able to have analysis. I mean, if you saw this at the Alamo Draft House, I'm thinking you space it out, you get 2 meals.
Oh, easy.
You have to, right?
Especially if you get there 15 minutes ahead of time. You get your first meal right as the
movie's beginning. And maybe that meal's a little lighter.
A salad, maybe.
This is going to put them out of business. Alamo Draft House does never-ending popcorn.
I mean, popcorn's good.
And it's good. You go through bowl after bowl if you're in there for 4 hours.
Loud-ass tin bowl.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It really makes you feel classy when they give it to you in a tin bowl. Yeah, I think you get 2 meals out of it. It'd be tough seeing this in like an old movie theater with like the beat-up old movie theater seats and stuff like that. Or you get into the theater and it's one of those theaters where the air conditioning doesn't work anymore and it's too hot and you realize that you've already paid, you're stuck in there for the next 4 hours. It's a risk, but I mean, I guess I should see it. I shouldn't be prejudiced against movies because of runtime.
No, but I mean, I can wait till this is on.
I mean, it's a huge. It becomes more of.
This is a commitment. This is like, where do I have?
That's what it is.
4 hours.
It's not just. Oh, I don't know if I can sit through a 4-hour movie. Like, yes, I can sit through a 4-hour movie. I'm a human being with a brain. It's functioning.
Troy, I think that's a shot at you.
That wasn't a shot at you, Troy. I think you have a functioning
Why are
brain.
you taking shots?
I didn't take a shot. As a matter of fact, Travis is the one that took the shot because I said I actually have a functioning brain, and the first thing Travis thought was that's a shot at Troy who doesn't. So that one. That one was on Travis, but it's more. When do I have?
That's a commitment.
A 4-hour and change because you got to drive to and from the theater. 4.5 hours to take away from work and family.
Yeah.
And like to be like, oh, okay, I have this 4.5 hours I can take off of work, and my family's like, oh, this is great, and I go, no, I gotta go see The Brutalist.
Yeah, I'll probably wait till it's on Plex.
Well, that's bootleg. That's
bootleg,
brother. That's illegal.
But this is more of a like, I'll watch it at home type thing. Like, I really want to see Nosferatu in a theater. You know, I don't.
It's fantastic. By the way, 212.
212, tight 212. I love that.
Tight 212, necessary 212. So good. So good. Nosferatu.
I don't feel like I need to see this movie in a theater. You know?
I don't know, man. I like seeing movies in theaters.
I love it. It's my favorite
It says it's an epic period drama. The word epic is a dog whistle telling you need to see it in a theater. Epic. But sometimes they just add epic because they want to get the money that they make when you see it in a theater. Oh, A24, you know, everybody loves these A24 movies. I'd like to see it in a theater.
But you're not.
I don't know if I'm going to find the 4.5 hours.
No. And that's fine. That's fine. Some movies you see in the theater, some you catch at home.
TJ in St. Louis?
Yeah, so when we were living in Germany, we were stationed over there for a few years. We would go to movies quite often because the movie theater would actually build the intermission into the movie. It wasn't in the movie, but, you know, the theater would cut off the movie for 10, 15 minutes so you can go get another beer, take a piss, whatever. It was great. It was the biggest culture shock when coming back to the States.
You liked it. You liked you liked the intermissions, TJ.
Love it.
Wow. All right. Thanks, man.
I got a small bladder. Yep. Bye-bye.
I think that I would imagine that this was a deal made by the theaters. That the theaters, because that's what it is, right? The idea that what TJ just said, I get to go out and have another beer. The theaters are like, if you go to the movie theater and you buy popcorn at the beginning of the movie, that's all the business we're getting out of you. But if you are willing to build in an intermission, which is going to encourage people to come out, buy more shit so we can make money, the theaters then will give you the real estate needed to put on this very long movie. I wouldn't be shocked by that.
You think this is a movie theater thing?
I wouldn't be shocked if the theaters went to the producers and said, this is what we need. Because I'm sure there was backlash against the idea of this movie being this long by theaters.
I guess, but I just looked up how long Killers of the Flower Moon was, which I did see in a theater. 3:30.
You saw that in theater?
I saw that in a theater.
And there was no intermission in that.
No intermission.
That movie's so good.
And actually, Scorsese told theaters to stop adding an intermission because I did not intend for there to be an intermission in this movie.
And that's what I mean. That's why I think theater, because that's Scorsese, De Niro, DiCaprio. Like, that's not this. Right?
Yeah, I did that. That was 3:30, and I did that no problem. But I love that movie.
So good.
I thought it was great.
It's so good. It's so good. I watched it at home. It was on Apple TV, but it's so... Yeah, it's great. It's one of those that I don't think I've watched it since.
Neither have I, but I should.
I would 100% watch it again.
Yeah.
It's odd to say an easy 3.5 hours.
It was.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe this is an easy 3.5 hours as well.
You're right.
You know?
You're right. And everybody says it's great. So maybe I'll give it a try. I did see that the creator, we were talking about this yesterday, and we got our answer. I saw an article that they did an interview with the creator. They did an interview with the creator and some of the actors in Squid Game. All of the people that were questioned, the creator, the actor who played 456, I mean, everyone across the board was in full, total, 100% agreement that the only way this show should be watched is with subtitles. All of them.
Well, of course they're going to say that because they're Korean.
What does that mean?
Because they can speak Korean.
That's not what they said.
That sounds like a dog whistle.
Yeah, that's not why they said that. They didn't say that because they were like, well, of course, our language is the premier language. You must respect our language. No, that's not what they said. They said that the actor who plays 456, he said that you should watch it with subtitles because without subtitles, you don't get the proper inflection. Yeah. You don't get the nuance. You don't really get to know the characters. There is this barrier with subtitles where it builds this invisible wall between you and the characters. That connection is broached.
I mean, it's literally a meme of this guy saying, I've played the games before.
Right. How bad it is. Like, and you're like, I can't believe.
My daughter told me that's all they yell in high school now.
They love it.
Yeah, they love it. It's become a thing.
I've played the games before.
I've played these games before.
And it's
like if you're having an argument with your friend about like what's right and what's wrong, someone will just start yelling, I've played these games before.
Because it's so ridiculous.
It's a joke. It's ridiculous.
And it eases the tension.
Yes.
Because everybody has a good laugh at what kind of idiot will watch that show like that. But if but the creator is specifically saying, the creator, it makes no difference to him. He's making his money one way or the other. The creator is saying, like, no, if you want to understand these characters, understand the nuance, they're saying without saying, the subtitles sound ridiculous. And that's not what this show is. This is a real show. It's a serious show. It's actually a good show. It's an actual well-done show. And the subtitles make that very hard to decipher.
I didn't say it was a bad show.
Dumb it down.
This show is considerably worse with subtitles.
I mean, you didn't watch it with subtitles, or you didn't watch it with.
You think if I